What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? That is right. I'm Chris Smith, and today I'm going to be talking about The Expanse, the season finale. Now, this review is going to be a little bit more different. I'm not going to necessarily give plot points of what's good or bad, but just my overall thoughts on the season finale. But let's get this thing going and stick to the end. Don't be an asshole or a dick and watch the whole video. So let's get this thing going. Now, for the most part, we got our answers to some of our questions pretty much well thought out in this episode. You know, we got Julie Mao. We found out what Julie Mao was actually doing, and that was actually good to see because everybody kept on talking about who the fuck is Julie Mao? Who's Julie Mao? But we actually finally got to see her thing, and then that transformation at the very beginning, I thought was actually really well done and on point. I thought the special effects crew really did a fantastic job there. And there's a couple of twists in this episode, or season finale, whatever you want to call it. I thought this was actually a real good episode for the most part, and I'll just leave it at that. Now, for me, particularly for this entire season, I thought the season did a real good job at having, well fleshed out characters, and I think that's what the entire series kind of succeeded on. Now, this wasn't your wham bam flash pass, action, sci-fi show. This was a bit of a character piece, and it delved deep inside of the world. Now, for me particularly, the pacing may lose some people, and I'm sure some people actually really did probably leave the show. But I think just because the show's not for everyone, that's not necessarily a bad thing. To me, personally, this show is kind of like a strategy game, right? Where a strategy game, some people may say, it's boring, it's not too much action, it's not really picking on the pace. But in a strategy game, you have to pick your moves carefully. And when you do, that's where the action kind of comes in. You have to really think. And I think that's what the show succeeded on, challenging the audience into making them think and actually giving you interesting characters and interesting situations, delivering on the intensity or the intense moments and the paranoia and the small moments to let you get to know these characters by putting the slower pacing a bit, and it was a consistent pacing. They didn't do like, okay, one small slow episode, bam, now this is an action movie. No, they stay to the pacing. Some of the characters are very well versed and well developed, like Holden and Miller and Naomi, some of my personal favorites, and there's some that really didn't get developed really. Now, for me personally, they could work on some better character development on some characters, but that's great. Some questions did get answered, as I said, but some things didn't get left answered, because that's actually a good thing to me personally, because some shows, they actually answer so many of the questions, they end the story arc in the season one, like they have a deadline. But for this show particularly, they left a lot of things unanswered to go over to season two, and I'm glad it didn't get canceled, because by adding and leaving some things left over for season two, you show that there's a lot more to this conspiracy than we actually saw, and that adds a bit more of a richer world to see. And for me personally, I really enjoyed that. Now, I actually really did enjoy these two episodes, or one episode together, whatever you want to call it, and there was nothing really wrong with it, personally. Now, for me, I would like to see, hopefully less of the government stuff. I didn't really enjoy the government stuff that much, but I thought everything else was really on point. From the world to the sets to the intense paranoia to everything, really. Everything was fine. I think for the people that left, the show already, and you probably haven't watched anything, I think you should probably stick on board, because I feel like it's going to be one of those shows that kind of carries on to probably be one of the best sci-fi shows of recent time, really. But yes, I thought this was a very well season finale. It wasn't an action-heavy season finale, but that's okay, because the Expanse never tried to be something else. It was never an action, show. It was kind of well-versed characters and slow pacing, but it got the job done through those interesting dialogues. Some dialogues probably shouldn't even be that interesting, but sometimes it actually managed to be interesting. But yes, that's my review of the season one finale or just the season, pretty much just in general. But yeah, I say watch The Expanse. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It may not be for everyone, but as I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But yes, comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith. I'm signing out.